The Maverick. A rebel. A challenger. A risk taker. The one who believes in the power of the underdog. Blazing his own trail. Refusing to conform. Daring to be great.
No mercy for you guys, man. Let's go together. 1, 2, 3, together.
Doncic. As he loses one into Lively. Washington.
Dancing, prancing, pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Domination by the Mavericks.
Each chapter brings new challenges. We've defied expectations, shattered records, and redefined what it means to play for this city. This time, everything is up for grabs, and we always gonna stand on business.
Hey, what's going on, Derek?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Hey, man, I was just thinking, man, I got to change that intro up, man. I can't keep it the same no more.
I like it. I like it. Change it up.
I gotta find a video that with Anthony Davis in there. We'll talk a little bit about that later.
Yeah,
but,
we will. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, so we got a good show tonight, man. We have another special guest on. We're still on this recruiting train of things, and so we have another special guest on.
Branching out. Where football's kind of over with, so we're getting the softball, baseball. Still throw some football in there every now and then, but
yeah, there's always going to be football news throughout the year. It don't matter if it's off season or not.
Oh yeah,
but kind of changing the scenery now with football. One game of football left. Well, that's a week away. I can't believe it's a week away, and to be here before we know it. But so let's we're going to talk about we're going to have our guest on. We're going to talk some WNBA stuff, basketball. I mean, really just all basketball stuff this evening for the most part. So let's run our main sponsor for the night, and then we will bring our guest in and get going.
Yep.
Oh. Hey, Jaycee, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
We're doing good. Thank you for hopping on with us tonight and hanging out for a little bit.
Of course.
Um, so to kind of start it off, obviously you went to Canton High School. Did you always go to Canton? Was that the only school you've ever attended, or have you been to other schools?
Yes, I went to Canton my whole school career.
Oh wow. Okay, so were you born in Canton the whole shebang?
Yeah, or not born in Canton, but
okay. Where were you
lived
born?
in the same house. Sulphur Springs.
Okay, so in Texas. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of walk us or talk a little bit about, your high school career. I do remember your dad when we talked, he did mention that y'all went to state for the first time ever your senior year, right?
Yes.
So kind of talk a little bit about that game. He did tell me it wasn't great, but he said y'all went for the first time ever. So I know that had to be exciting to play in that game. So kind of talk us a little bit about your high school career and how things went.
So my freshman year, I was on varsity, and I was 14 at the time, and so I was really scared. All the older girls scared me, so I struggled a lot mentally. So I didn't pitch good freshman year. So my freshman year, I pitched some games, but mostly sat the bench because I mentally just wasn't there and didn't believe myself. Was scared to mess up because I didn't want to let the team down. And then sophomore year came around, and I was the only pitcher, and so I had to pitch. And then I finally got that confidence. So then sophomore to senior year, it was good. And then senior year went to state, and that game it was fun being there. It was a fun experience, but I think we were all really nervous being there, but it was super fun.
Your senior year, was the team like a senior heavy team, or was it like a mix between younger classmen and seniors?
Oh, I think we had 6 seniors. So they were pretty all starters. So
so after your freshman year, you didn't play much, and so you said you were going into sophomore year, you were technically the only starting pitcher y'all had.
Yes.
So everyone was freshmen under you.
There was another sophomore girl, but it was JV varsity because there was no JV pitcher. So there was
So you had to step up and be the leader as a pitcher going in your first season of starting.
Yes. So I had to gain that confidence real quick.
Wow.
Have you always been a pitcher? I mean, all the way up?
Yes. Our coach, it was maybe, I think. Our coach was like, "Who wants to pitch?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." Well, here I am today. I'm pitching.
You're pitching, yeah.
Yeah.
So who was it? Your parents that told you to go give it a shot, or was it just like you saying, "I'm going to go give it a shot"? At that young of an age, I know that's kind of a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure it was my parents just try it, see if you like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it, obviously. But
so did you start pitching lessons before you even started pitching? Because I know that's a big thing. Pitching lessons is a big thing for younger girls. My daughter plays softball, and we just had this conversation the other day because she played pitcher in 6U, and so is that kind of you did pitching lessons, and then from there it just took off.
Yeah, I started pitching lessons when I was 8 or 9, somewhere around there, and then just kept going ever since.
Did you use the same pitching coach for a long time?
Yes. Yeah, the same.
Wow, that's impressive. So
are you a freshman at TJC right now, or are you sophomore?
Yeah.
Freshman. Okay.
This is your first year. So when did the recruiting people notice you start happening for you? What year was that in high school?
What's up, Cecil?
Summer going into junior year, I think, and then my junior year in January is when I committed to Henderson State.
So you committed to Henderson State. So kind of talk to us about that. Obviously, you're not at Henderson State. By the way, was that the only school that really was interested in you, or was there other schools as well?
I was also talking to Harding University at the time. So it was those 2 schools. And then obviously I was still going to camps and stuff, trying to get out there.
Is that a big thing? I mean, that's kind of something we've asked everybody that we've had on. Was most of your exposure at the camp, or were people coming to camp to watch you play?
So Harding first noticed me. My sophomore year, we were playing in a playoff game. Harding first noticed me because we were playing Gilmer, and the sister, Harding's head coach, her sister was Gilmer's head coach. So she noticed me and then told her about me. And then Henderson State noticed me at a softball tournament. So, no.
Not a lot of Canton recruits coming.
Yeah, no.
Hey, I like Canton. I go there from time to time to work. It's not the biggest town, but hey, it's when I think of Canton, I think of G.J. Kinney. I still do. It's crazy. We still talk about that. Do you know who? I'm assuming you got to know who that is, right?
No.
Are you for real? Oh man. Okay, well, he used to be a quarterback for Canton back in what was this? The early 2000s, Derek? Probably.
I think
had to be.
Well,
then he went to Gilmer, was a quarterback there, and then now he's the head state coach at he's the head coach at Texas State football. That's we've had a lot of those players on, so that's how we know him. He played in the NFL too. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh wow, that's kind of surprising. You're from Canton. It's not a very big town, but yeah. So you get recruited. So kind of tell us how you ended up at TJC, because it's not Henderson State as you were committed. So
yeah. So it was before playoff game. I think it was before 4th round playoffs. I was in the car on my way home from Tyler. We were doing something. I think it was like family dinner, and the Henderson coach called me and was like, "Hey, like, I'm just letting you know before you hear it from anyone else that I'm leaving." And I was like, "Oh,
wow.
Okay." And then I was supposed to leave in like 3 months to go to Henderson. So I was like, "What am I supposed to do?" And the TJC coach reached out to him and was like, "Hey, do you have any pictures?" Because I guess they were friends, and he said that I live close, so he gave him my name. And then the pitching coach for TJC came to watch me play in a playoff game, and
now just curious, if the TJC wouldn't have called or wouldn't have been there, did you have any other plan? I mean, what was your plan of attack after that?
No plan.
No.
Just kind of hope for something to come through.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Had no plan.
Well, so
what's up, Anthony?
Since hey Anthony, how are you? So since that plan kind of didn't work out, what were you always going to back out if that coach left, or did they pull the offer because he left? I mean, kind of what was that, or did you just make the change to TJC?
Since I had already technically signed the piece of paper, I could have still went there with my scholarship and stuff, but I didn't want to go into school not knowing the coach at all, so I got to know the TJC coach and was like, this is probably like the better option for me. So this is where I came.
So, so now you're, now you find out you're going to TJC. So kind of, what was that relationship like kind of changing from Henderson State to the TJC staff? How's, in such a short, I mean, you had 3 months generally to get to know the coaching staff, maybe even get to know some players. So how did that go for you?
I really liked like Coach Martinez and like all the stuff at Henderson, but I think like I ended up where I was supposed to be. So I love all the coaches here, love all the girls. Like we all get along. So
that's good for your family too. I mean, they can just shoot right up for home games like it ain't nothing. What, about an hour away? Hour 15?
Yeah, hour-ish. And Henderson was 3.5.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew it was a little further.
Where is Henderson State, Derek? Do you know, or I
think it's Arkansas. If I'm not.
Yeah, it's in Arkadelphia.
Arkadelphia, yeah. So not too bad, but further. I mean.
Yeah, it's close to Harding. It's close to Little Rock.
Little Rock, yep.
So, coming in to TJC, what was the expectations of playing as a freshman? Was there more of a just coming in and work type thing, or were you promising any playing time? I mean, I know you're only a couple games in, so.
Yeah. Well, we played in the fall, but like you're not promised like playing time. Like you have to prove yourself and show that you can go out there. Which recently, like in the fall, like I struggled again with being the freshman and like
that's one of my next question.
Yeah, so I struggled I mean, I'm still trying to. I've had like some rough games, so I'm still working on building my confidence, knowing that like if I mess up, my team's not gonna hate me. That I can just pitch and do what I can do.
So are you in the rotation?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. So you are in the rotation.
Yes.
Would you consider yourself a starter or a reliever?
Right now I'm more of a reliever.
Okay.
Well, little setup man right before the closer.
Which is a change from like Canton. I pitched like every game.
All right.
Yeah, that's a change. I mean,
that's got to be good on your arm, though. I mean,
it's nice
to have. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. To have that break in between, you might pitch on a Monday and you might not pitch again until next Thursday. As we're high school, you probably pitched Monday, Thursday, the following Monday.
Yeah.
Every game. A lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. So did you have any? Obviously, since you're just starting a collegiate career, but in high school, do you have anything major injury-wise happen to you that really set you back, at any point in time?
So I don't remember. I think it was after junior year that summer. I was pitching in a tournament in Plano, and my arm really started hurting, and like it hurt to breathe, and I was like telling my parents, I was like, something's not right. Like my arm's really hurting, and then didn't worry about it, and I woke up the next day and it was hurting really bad. I got an x-ray to make sure it wasn't like labrum or anything, and I had tendonitis and bursitis, so just a lot of fluid, and like it was been overworked from high school. Yeah, I mean my junior year, but I wasn't worried because I'd already committed to Henderson, but then not knowing I wasn't going there.
Now would they have? Let me ask you. I don't know this, but say you had got hurt your senior year, would Henderson still have took you even after you had signed, or could they have backed out on their end?
I think if I got an injury in softball, I think I can keep it. But if it's like if I'm playing volleyball and I get an injury, I think they have the choice to take it away.
Now, did you play multiple sports at Canton, or were you strictly softball?
No, I played volleyball and softball. I played basketball my freshman year, but then quit because I didn't enjoy it anymore.
Okay.
Well, that's awesome. So, for one, you could do it anytime, but we'd love to come watch you play. We'll state that we've been actually going and watching recruitment play kind of close, and my daughter's big in softball. So if you could send me your schedule, we'll come watch you play at a home game.
Yeah, we play home next weekend.
Oh, Friday really? Derek,
there you go.
You want to mark something down?
Yeah, we might. We'll get it and look at it and see what time.
Yeah,
we'll go from there.
Yeah, we definitely like coming and watching. Like I said, my daughter's really big into softball. Okay, so I asked this because again, I have a daughter and she tells me she wants to pitch, but she's still young. What would be some advice you'd give to me as a parent, or even Derek's girl plays basketball, but where was a point in your young career that really took you on the pitching? Was it the coaching, like you're going to the coach and like learning how to pitch, or was it just constantly practicing on it on your own, maybe with your dad or your mom?
Yeah, I practiced with my dad. Like he was a big motivator for me, and he would like get me out there, and then I enjoyed it. When I was 12, 11, I think, I took a season off because I was like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. And then I realized like, oh, I missed this. Like I want to go play. So played. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I can get her to keep playing, that's the challenge with her. Yeah. But she's really into it, so So I'm really going to keep her in it. She's really tall. That's what I think is going to pull her from the pitching.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a first or a third. Is what I'm thinking.
I don't know. Kat Offman was what, 6'4"?
Yeah, tall pitchers are good.
They can swing it
because they're long and lanky, so they can so hard.
I guess I say tall. I mean she's tall, but when I think tall in baseball, softball, I always think first and third, just because of But I mean, there's tall pitchers. The ground they can cover. Because she's great at stopping the ball already. She's really impressive with it. That's why they have her at the pitching position, because most of them at that age, again 6U, they look at it. She can actually ground it and throw it.
Good.
But yeah. So Derek, was there anything else you specifically wanted to ask before we hop into the?
I kind of got a 3-part question here. I'll let you answer each one of them. obviously you're looking to go somewhere after TJC, probably to play softball, maybe a D1 or another school. Kind of what is that school for you that if they call and say, hey, we got a scholarship for you, you're going, like no questions asked?
Okay.
Any school.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You just want to play.
You just want to play.
Just anywhere that has like my work, like what I'm wanting to do. Like as long as they have that, then.
What do you want to major in?
I want to do dental hygiene.
Okay.
Oh,
great. TJC is a great school for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. TJC is a great school for that.
Yeah, they have a program.
My second question, I'm assuming you follow college softball. I mean, being a softball player. Who do you got winning it this year?
And you can't pick Oklahoma. I'm tired of
I'm thinking.
Texas and Florida are up there.
Texas and Florida. Okay.
They're up there.
Then my last question, it's a kind of a tougher one. So my daughter has it's a strong opportunity that she will be on varsity as a freshman in basketball. And I know you said that you struggled with it. And listening to kind of your story, it sounds a lot like her. She's the same way. Like she don't want to mess up. Even now, like she has that in her mind. What kind of helped you get through that? Or like what advice would you give to younger girls that maybe struggle that are on varsity with something like that?
I would say like nobody's going to be mad at you for messing up because everybody messes up. Like we're not perfect. We're all human. And I would listen to a lot of like motivational stuff like on YouTube, like on the buses. I would put on my headphones and like just listen to that and like tell myself like you're good enough. Like so everybody's gonna mess up at some point. You're not perfect. Like just motivational stuff.
So a couple years ago, I want to say 2 years ago, she played summer volleyball, and she got 17 straight aces. The 18th point, she shanked it. I'm talking about it didn't even go over the net, like it hit the wall. After the game, that's all she talked about, how bad she was. I said, you hit 17 straight. Yeah, but what about that 18th one? I'm like, you can't. Like, the whole game was bad because of the one thing. And that's how she is in basketball. Like, she does really well. Yeah. And one little thing, well, did you see that in the first quarter or did you see that in the second? You can't let that one thing. So to hear you talk about that was the first thing that popped in my mind was like, what would you say to the younger kids that might have that opportunity? So I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good luck with the games this coming up week and weekend.
Thanks.
Yeah, like I said, if you'll send me your softball schedule, we'll I'll definitely want to bring probably the whole family. We'll come out and watch a game, and I want to come watch you play and watch the team because I hear y'all are going to be pretty good. I know that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask how that scrimmage went against UT because I know that they are the defending national championship. So that was a kind of a first scrimmage was insane, but that was how did that go?
I mean, they came out and like they did what they're supposed to do. I mean, their D2 national championships were junior college. So, but in the fall,
that's Texas Tyler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, UT Tyler. Yeah,
Tyler.
Yeah.
In the fall, we played them, and we held up with them pretty well in the fall. But yeah.
So when we asked you earlier about what school you might want to go to, Mr. Cal Sparks threw up the Longhorn sign, but we don't listen to that kind of negativity on here.
No,
we don't listen to negativity on this show. So that's why I didn't put it up there. But I felt I got to put it up there for Mr. Cal. I got to do it for Mr. Cal.
That's awesome. Well, again, we appreciate you coming and hanging out with us for a little bit. And like I said, if you'll send me that schedule, we'll plan something out and come watch you play.
Of course.
We'll have a good evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Y'all too.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome, man. I mean,
look, Cecil, go to Florida. I'd rather them go to Florida than the Texas.
I think at this point, let's just say this, Derek. No Texas team, and then everybody will. Well,
yeah, everybody will.
We'll be okay. Yeah, we'll be
Texas,
okay.
Go to Texas State.
I'll be okay. We'll both be okay with that.
Yeah, we'll both be okay. Yeah. Hey, real quick.
Yes.
2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Boston is up 1. 22-point turnaround.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Boston's up 1, 110 to 109. 22-point turnaround.
20 minutes ago, they were down by 20.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Mr. Cal, eat 'em up, cat. And I'm assuming this is the mama,
yes,
her mom.
That's her mom.
OU. Hey, I said OU too. I mean, they're unbelievable, man. They're unbelievable.
They're the dynasty of college softball. As we speak, like they're still there. Like they're. I would have to say I haven't looked at that OU roster, but there's got to be plenty of Texas kids as well playing there, just because it's so close. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
But OU, they just they're not just good; they dominate softball.
They destroy people. Yeah,
I want to say in the last 2 years, and I'd have to really look this up, but I think they've lost less than 5 games in the last 2 years, and they play what 50-ish games through the last. If you make it all the way, 50-ish games. I mean, that's impressive. I'm gonna see
if I can pull something up here.
I mean, I know that the where is it? I was going to look and see what the preseason. No, I don't even know what you call it. I don't even see anything on here. I'm looking. I'm trying to find. Let me look up something real quick while we're. While I look this up, Derek, I'm gonna run our next ad just to kind of bypass some time here.
Yeah, that'll work.
And then it's only 20 seconds, but 25 seconds. So I'm gonna run this, and then we'll hop into the next topic. But in between this, maybe one of us look up. I kind of want to see where they're how many games that they've won, and then also want to.
Oh, I got it right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to 2013. Okay. That's their most recent national championship. I mean, the earliest, or I can go back to 2000. That's just a long time. So in 2013, they were 57-4. 14, 51-13. 15, 49-9. 16 and 17, they won the Natty. 57-8, 61-9. The next 2 years, they were 57-5, 57-6. COVID year, they were 20-4 before the season got canceled. And in the last 3 years, straight national champions, the records were 56-4, 59-3, and 61-1.
I mean, 61-1. I wonder who beat them.
Let's see if I can pull it up.
I'm just curious because to beat the team at any level is impressive enough, but to still only lose one game. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for right here. All right, I'm gonna go down this list. So this is the top 25 rankings starting this softball season. So you got Texas 1, Florida 2, Oklahoma 3, Oklahoma State 4, Tennessee 5, UCLA 6, Texas A&M 7. Texas A&M is an amazing team too, dude. They're so good at softball. Duke is 8, LSU 9, Texas Tech 10, Alabama 11, Florida State 12, Arkansas 13, Georgia 14, Missouri 15, Nebraska 16, Arizona 17, Virginia Tech 18, Baylor 19, Northwestern 20, California 21, Michigan 22, Stanford 23, Oregon. Actually, there's 2 23s. I'm not sure. Well, they put 2 23s, but it's 23 Stanford, 24 Oregon, and Mississippi State is 25. So,
A&M is number 1 in baseball and number 7 in softball.
A&M baseball they're phenomenal at baseball.
So just for context, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. In the last 5 years, Oklahoma softball at home, since 2020, they are 97-2 at home.
I mean, good luck anyone beating them at home. I'll just say that. Good luck anybody beating them at home because
Mr. Cal said Texas Tech pitcher has a $1 million NIL deal.
Wow.
They offered that to me and Dustin, but we turned it down. We don't need all that kind of drama. Yeah, we don't need that.
I don't want that drama, man. I told him I'd be the water.
We told him to give it to the other guy.
Yeah, I said I'll be the water boy. There's no drama in that. So let's run our next ad, and we're going to get into let's talk some WNBA stuff, and then Then we'll get into the NBA. I know we're actually, you know what? Let's just get into the.
Let's go. Yeah.
Actually, before we do the WNBA, there's a few NFL things I want to talk about very briefly. Some coaching stuff, just a very very briefing, and then we'll get to WNBA or not, the NBA. We got to get to it. I know we're eating to talk about this.
Yep.
So let's do that.
Comanche Tees is located in Longview, Texas. They are owned by Naomi Simmons. They specialize in making all kinds of custom apparel and hats for any occasion. You can scan the QR code on the screen to go to her Facebook, give her a call at 903-985-9120, or even email her at comanchetees24@gmail.com.
All right, Derek. Chip Kelly, OC for the Raiders. Your thoughts?
If the Philly guys are watching, Raiders by 30. Man.
So now I just want to say this before we jump this. So Ohio State has now lost their OC and DC now.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That was my first. My first thought had nothing to do with the Raiders. It had to do with Ohio State because this is what I think of. This is how my brain was working. Does Jeremiah Smith transfer? Now that Kelly's on all that money, all that money's being thrown at him.
He has money on the table. He has some money on the table to go elsewhere, and more money than some NFL players make.
So not only did they lose their coordinators, they also lost Will Howard. So who's the quarterback? And Aaron Nolan, who was the backup, the 5-star. And this is what I love about. Hey, no, he left.
Yes, I'm saying he left. Yeah, he's gone.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what I love about that situation. I'm gonna tell you what makes me so happy.
They're not going to repeat?
No. It has to do with Aaron Nolan. He went to South Carolina. What did Ohio State do? They won the Natty. Guess who don't get a ring? Aaron Nolan. He left. You ain't on the team, homie. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
That is the perk of the transfer portal. You left, you lost out. I love that.
And I think that's the right thing, Derek. If you're on a team, no matter what team it is, and you have the opportunity to win a bowl game, or win a ring in the national championship, and you leave and then they win, you don't deserve that. You didn't commit to your commit.
Yeah.
You left. I think, and this comes back to the NIL stuff, if that particular quarterback, I doubt he got NIL money. If he did, it was very little.
Because he's not playing. He's not even going to play in front of Stellar.
No. So I'm glad that he didn't deserve the ring. You didn't stay committed to your commit.
Yep.
You leave, you don't get the ring. All he had to do was, because I heard he's a great quarterback. He could have been their quarterback next year. I don't know him. I've heard of him.
He was a 5-star. I think he was number. Don't quote me on this. He was a top 5 quarterback in the class, last year's class.
Yep. So
but and as far as this right here,
is this good for the Raiders? Like, they got Pete Carroll.
It could be because Pete Carroll is your defensive guy, right? He's like your Bill Belichick. Now, he's not Bill Belichick, but he's your head coach that can kind of call defensive plays. Chip Kelly obviously is a mastermind when it comes to offense. Right. I don't know how he's going to do in the NFL. I think he's a college guy. I said this earlier.
Yep.
Chip Kelly to LSU with that recruitment and that NIL deal would be insane because the guys that go to LSU are not are the speed guys. They're your athletes. That would be a match made in heaven.
Could you imagine Chip calling Brian and saying, "Hey man, I'm sorry, but I'm taking your job."
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I don't like it personally because they don't have a quarterback. They don't have a running back. They don't have any receivers. Like, there's a lot to do in Oakland to kind of.
Oakland has a lot of work, obviously.
I would love for them to trade for Dak. Then he'd have a quarterback. That'd be okay with me.
Well, that'd be okay, but I wouldn't be mad about that. And then listen. I know when I put this next one up, you're gonna do the face of disappointment, but I'm gonna put it up. It is nothing new. I don't know who this offensive coordinator is. I don't know what is going on with this. I think Derek, I'm going to say this about these hires. I'm going to say that Dallas Cowboys have probably the worst coaching staff in the National Football League.
That's what you see. That's what you see with this picture.
Yes. Well,
I see 2026 champion.
Well, okay. If we're looking to the future,
they'll be gone in 2 years.
I mean, we hired. I don't even know who this Clayton Adams
guy is. I've never heard of him. Never heard of him.
He looks
the Bears guy was the former head coach at Chicago.
Yes, I know, and he's maybe he might be the best coach they have. At least he's been a coordinator. At least he called his plays. As a coordinator.
Cecil said 1 year. I agree, Cecil. I mean, I really. What's going on, Brandon? How you doing, brother?
Brandon, hey Cecil, hey everybody. Sorry, we've been a little bit of we were into the interview, but hey everyone, I'm glad everyone's popping in here hanging out.
We hadn't done the Mavericks Lakers yet, Brandon. You right on time, brother.
We're about to hop into it.
Yeah, I don't. Man, I seen a thing today, and I think it was absolutely perfect. Kind of transitioning from Dallas to the trade deadline. The trade deadline, the Dallas trade. Somebody posted a picture of Jerry Jones, like holding up a lottery, like them giant lottery checks that you get, and it said "Not the worst GM in Dallas." Man, I mean, he still is, because this offensive staff and defense. This whole Cowboys staff is atrocious. We have become the laughing stock. We would have become the laughing stock of the NFL
if it weren't for Cohen.
Have the Jacksonville Jaguars coach not did that Duval. That saved us. Let's just be honest. That saved us.
By the way, did you see there's a TikTok out there that has the top 5 views on doing that re-interview with other people? And there's they are the most funny. And the last one, I don't know where he was from, but it got 1.3 million views. It tied with Cohen's, and it was a country boy from probably out in the sticks of probably who knows where, and he did it, and it sounded just like him. It was the most hilarious thing I have ever seen.
Said the Duval was the most awkward thing ever.
Listen,
it was bad. It was bad.
To me, it was the eyebrow raise, and he said Duval.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I had to research, like, what is this Duval thing? I can know it's the county, but it's just like, I guess somebody else has done it in the past.
Yeah, somebody's done it before.
So I don't know. It was funny. He made the Jaguars look kind of funny doing it. But
hey, breaking news. What
is it? Is it NBA?
It's NBA.
Okay.
Trade.
No. There's no way. Tell me.
Yep. Hang on. I'm trying to get. Come on. Where'd it go? Anyway, I can tell you the basis of it.
Yes. I seen it.
Fox to the Spurs. Levine to the Kings.
Let's go. I knew it was going to happen. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that last. Maybe we'll get some details between now and then.
That's what I was thinking.
I want to talk about the first trade that happened in the NBA, and then we're going to get to the mega one that's happened so far. So you got the Clippers. They're trading PJ Tucker and Wnba and a future second-round pick and cash to Utah Jazz for Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills. I'll say this: I love this for the Clippers because Drew Eubanks is a young. Wnba and PJ Tucker weren't getting used. Okay.
Wnba got waived.
Yeah, I figured he would.
Yeah.
But they really weren't being waived at the Clippers, and I'm very familiar with Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills, ex-Spurs player. I thought Drew Eubanks was going to be a phenomenal up-and-coming big man role player for San Antonio. I think he left. I don't think he got traded. I think he left. I didn't even know Patty Mills was still playing, to be honest.
I didn't either.
He's still rocking and rolling. He has the longer dreads now. I loved Patty in San Antonio. Obviously, he's a big part of their championship runs as a backup point guard to Tony Parker. I think this is great for the Clippers because they get another big man outside of Zubac or whatever his name is.
Yep.
Yeah. So they have a backup big man. And then now they have that another veteran point guard that come in and give them like good minutes. Like Patty can still play. Well, I guess he can still play. I didn't know he was still playing, so I'm assuming he's being very productive because they traded for him. but I do not expect PJ Tucker to stay at the Jazz because I think he can still play. He's obviously his specialty is being a defender. He's a smaller defender, but he likes guarding the Kevin Durant's and the big players. So I don't expect him to stay in Utah. I feel like that will not stay put. But we'll see though. I mean, what do you think this is? I mean, it's not a big trade, but I think it's a good trade.
I think Tucker will end up getting released, just like Milwaukee did. I think this was a cash grab and getting you a couple picks. And to clear some cap space. So, and I'm going to talk about this later on. So remember this trade.
Okay. Oh, you remember this trade? Okay. Well, man, let's get into it, man. I know that we're going to talk about this for a hot minute, so man, let's get into this trade. You know, I know you're a big Mavericks fan, so kind of break this down and what you really think about it.
After much consideration, I mean, like I said, I was in shock at first.
I think everybody was in shock.
I absolutely love it.
Okay.
I'm talking absolutely love it. I think we're going to waive Christie. I think we just that was just kind of get him off the, just pay him out.
Get him off. Yeah, he had to be part of it to make it work.
Yeah. If you look at it at face value, Luka's averaging 28 this year. Davis is averaging 25, like 7 or something like that. So just say 26. Okay, so you're right there points wise. Offensively, I think it's a wash. Yeah, Luka does a whole lot. Luka could go for 60. I don't think Davis is giving you 60.
I mean, he's not.
Defensively, Davis literally said yesterday or the day before he wanted to go back to the 4. They asked him. They said, "Hey, what do the Lakers need to kind of go forward?" He said, "I need to be playing the 4." When we won the championship, Dwight Howard was the 5. I played the 4. I don't know if there's a better 4 in the NBA. He's a stretch 4. He can go out. He can do your pick and pops. He reminds me a lot of Kevin Garnett without the intensity. Like Kevin Garnett was unbelievable. He was so intense with everything that he did. But he reminds me a lot of Kevin Garnett. Yeah, we got older, but as a team, I think Dallas got so good. Everybody goes back, and I know you're concerned with Clay. I know Clay had a horrible game today. He's hit and miss, but there were stretches at Golden State where he was the same way. I mean, yeah, he had Clay. I mean, he had Steph, so he kind of hid in the background a little bit. Every now and then he would pop off. But as a team, I think Dallas got so good because you still have Spencer. You still have Lively if Lively doesn't start. So you have them two coming off the bench. You have Washington. If he doesn't start, he can be your third off the bench. I don't think this team is done. With Mo Bamba and Tucker probably going to get bought out. I think that gives Dallas a whole lot of leeway what they can do because now you can make some packages work for, you could send multiple guys somewhere. And if you can go get a PJ Tucker, who's a great defender, he's a great on-ball defender. If you go get a Mo Bamba to replace, say, if you trade Lively, now you got another rim protector, another rebounder, another defensive guy. And I just love, like I said, I call the New Orleans Pelicans, and Anthony Davis waived his trade tag, so that frees like it's like a 15% kicker or 20%, whatever it was. I think that opens up so much for them. I call New Orleans and say, "Hey, what do you want for Brandon Ingram? You're not getting Kyrie, you're not getting AD, and you're not getting I said Lively, but if we go get Mo Bamba, then if you need Lively and some picks, let me know. Like what do you need?" And I think Ingram at the 3, I love it. The more I've thought about it today, I absolutely love it. If this team stays healthy, that's the biggest concern. If this team stays healthy, they are unbelievable. Unbelievable. AD and Kyrie, it could be a outstanding duo. Outstanding. As far as the Lakers, they got the better player in the trade. They got worse as a team. Who are their bigs? Can you name their bigs?
I'm assuming. I mean, right now it's going to be Maxi Kleber, which it doesn't matter because he's hurt currently. And it's going to be Jackson Hayes, and they have Robert Williams III.
Okay,
that's the three big.
Their starting big are Dorian Finley-Smith and Jackson Hayes. What is that? You're looking at 14 points a game combined between them two. So
I don't agree.
You're telling me LeBron, Austin Rivers, and Luka are going to put up 80 points a game between the three? Yeah. Just a little quick take of that. Absolutely. Hawkeyes took down number 4 USC today. Loved it. Loved Caitlin Clark. Got her jersey retired. I love that. I don't know, and I said this earlier. I don't know if Luka resigns with the Lakers. I mean, it happened so fast. Like Luka, the players didn't know about it, so it's not like the LA could have called and been like, "Hey, are you going to resign with us this offseason?" Nobody knew about it. General manager.
It was during the game last night, from what I heard.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. So I haven't seen Luka. Like, I physically put eyes on him.
Yeah.
If he's 270 pounds,
he's
15 pounds smaller than Jokic. That I don't want a $300 million, 270-pound point guard. You know what I mean? Like that's unbelievable if he is that big.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, like, so when I first saw this, I didn't believe it. Like, I had just woken up and I had notifications. I saw y'all were talking about it, and then I just said, "What just happened?" Because I didn't know what was going on. It happened last night. I was not awake. And when I think about this, my first thought was, well, the Mavs definitely defensively, with Gafford, Anthony Davis, you're definitely a better defensive team, and you're not bad offensively because Anthony Davis can score. I mean, we can't disregard. I mean, I do agree with you. He, in my opinion, he is the best 4 in the game. Worries, and then I'm not sold that Luka's 270. I'm not saying he's not. It makes the trade sound like a better deal if he is that big. I want to see it. I wouldn't. I just don't see how the himself and that coaching staff would not keep tabs on him while he's been injured, and let him get that way unless they were already thinking, maybe we should get rid of Luka. Maybe he's not the guy. But I think the Mavs' thought process was, we got to get it now. Like a now scenario. Because this deal for the Mavericks is not a future. It wasn't a future move.
No, it's a now move.
It's a now move. And for Luka going to the Lakers, that's going to be interesting because now you have 2 ball-dominant players. Like actual ball-dominant in LeBron and Luka. But it's been said that he's been wanting to play with Luka. From my impression, nobody knew about this. Like, no players. It was just like GMs, and that was it. It happened, and like people found out after it happened. I want to see how it works out. Dallas has got to get healthy. Even with AD like playing, like they've got to get healthy.
So this is something else that I talked about. For one, it's not done yet. Like
no,
Dallas,
it's not. We still have 4 days left of the trade.
Dallas isn't done. And like I told y'all, the top 2 people right now, top 2 teams for Miles Turner is Dallas and LA. If Anthony Davis and Miles Turner are on the same team, that elevates Dallas to a whole different level because now not only do you have 2 defensive bigs that are rim protectors. They're also stretch bigs. So now you've got Anthony Davis and Miles Turner out on the wing, and that lets Kyrie be Kyrie. That lets Kyrie drive, create, get to the basket, and that's huge. That's huge to let Kyrie kind of ISO and do his thing because he's still he's easily a top 3 guard with handles in the entire NBA all time.
Oh yeah,
all time.
I think he still is to this current day.
But it also free, and it's like I told y'all, Luka at a 5-year, $350 million deal. Okay, that's $70 million a year. They're going to use that 70. They're going to go out and get pieces. I think this move was for next year because I mean you've got people like Aaron Gordon going to be a free agent. Brandon Ingram going to be a free agent. Miles Turner will be a free agent. Jonathan Kuminga will be a free agent. I mean, there is a lot of good people coming into free agency next year. And so I'm not 100% sure this was a right now move, which I think it does make Dallas better. Like I said, they're sitting right there at 8 right now. I would not be surprised if they fell to 12 in the West because of injuries. I wouldn't be surprised if they made it to 4th in the West because they're just gelling. I think it depends on what they do, but I think this move was a next year move, and I am so excited for it. I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, again, I think for Dallas, I think it's the opposite of each other. Dallas is in a win now mode, and people say that this is a win now mode for the Lakers, but I think this is just setting the Lakers up for the future. They have a superstar for the future because LeBron isn't always going to be there. He may not be there after this year. I mean, we don't know what LeBron is always a mystery. It's always a 1-year deal to the next year because of where he is in his career.
Let me ask you this. Let me put it to you this way. Does LA going to get Luka and kind of already planning for the future? Is that them telling LeBron, hey, we know we're not going to get another one with you. Like we know you're done.
I don't know if they're saying we're done. I think what they're trying to do is try. I think this is a big try. I think they're trying to get better now offensively, but not thinking about the defense because LeBron is still an okay defender. He can still defend at his age. You can't knock that. But Luka
is horrible.
It cannot defend. We know that. He was better last year. We got to give him that. The whole Dallas team got better defensively when they got PJ Washington.
That's why they made the run.
They got better.
Luka was better defensively, and so that's why they made the run. But if you look in the finals, Luka got ate up. He was gassed.
No, he did. He did.
And that was a 240 Luka. If he's 270, the Mavericks win this trade.
I'm not sold he's 270. Could he be 250 now? I mean, maybe. If he's 270, there's no way he can play his position and be 270. There's no way. I mean, we have to both agree that if he's 270, he cannot play the point guard position.
Them knees are hurting if he's 270. I'll be up.
It ain't the knees, that whole body hurting if he's 270. That ain't just the knees, the whole body. You got to think Luka's been playing since he was 15 professionally. Like he's been playing for
you're right.
He's been playing for a long time. And he's always been a bigger point guard. We know that. But I think what he does for the Lakers is he does give them outside of LeBron, because LeBron can still be a go bucket getter, like getting to the basket. If the whole 270 thing was just a thing that got out there that helped the trade, whatever it is, if he's still around that 240-ish, he's just a go getter with his bucket. He makes some insane shots. He's great with it. He's not a great handler. I mean, he's not a bad, but he's a great passer. He could open things up a hair, but the Lakers have got to do more. Kind of like where Dallas is, they've got to do a little bit more. the Lakers have got to do a little bit more in this free agency to have a chance this year, and I just don't see what more they're going to go get. What they just got, Luka. Like, what more can you really do? I mean, for the now purpose, I think Dallas definitely got the better part of the deal for the now. And not only that, they got a first round for 29. I mean, that's not a bad. I mean, I know it's only 4 years away, but they may use that for something else. I mean,
I will tell you this, and I said this in the network chat earlier today. I don't know if you caught it because you kind of woke up late and we were already talking about it. If Dallas, if this trade helps LeBron win another title and tie Kobe and get closer to Jordan, I will renounce the Mavericks. I will be. Mark Cuban's dumb. Mark Cuban doesn't own them anymore.
Yeah, Mark Cuban doesn't own the team.
He sold them last year.
I thought the same thing. He actually sold them last year, and I think that was Derek. There's no way.
Mark Cuban said that if it came between Luka and divorce,
his marriage, he would.
He said, "Meet me at the lawyer's office." He loved Luka. He traded for Luka.
I don't think this. I mean, when I got up, I was like, "Why would Mark Cuban get rid of him?" Then I got to thinking, and I put that in there, and you were like, I was like, "That's right. He's not the owner." This was not a wake up yesterday morning. They said we're trading Luka. I think this has been on their mind a little bit, and they didn't really know what to do with Luka and what they could get, like now, right? Because the money they were going to have to give him. Like I said,
let me ask you. I put this in the group. What would you have got for Luka? Like NBA wide open, you're GM of the Mavericks. What is your call? What would you give? Who would you call and say, "Hey, I want X, Y, and Z for Luka Doncic"? That would help them right now.
I would have found a way. I don't know how this happens. I can't put the trade together, but God, man, because I mean, you got to think when you think of Luka, you could go get anyone. Yes, Brandon, we just saw that right before we started.
We're waiting on the details.
We're trying to see if the details pop up here soon. Like, there's got to be more than just that two involved. There's no way that's a straight trade because there's no way.
It's a 3-team.
And there's only 2 teams that have been talked about. So we're going to wait and see if there's any other players involved, and I'm sure there is. If I'm Dallas, Anthony Davis isn't bad, right? Like, but I would have loved to see the Lakers but here's why they didn't do with like what they did with De'Aaron Fox. It was very known that De'Aaron Fox wanted to he didn't re-sign an extension last year. That told Sacramento he was already out. Nowadays, people don't when someone says they're not going to re-sign and they're still in the middle of a deal, they're going to trade them at some point because nowadays people aren't going to let people walk for free. It's happened too much in the past. People aren't just going to be like, "Oh, hey, Luka, if you're not going to resign, we're just going to let you walk," right? Yeah, they don't. That's not a thing anymore. So if I'm the Lakers or the Dallas Mavericks, I don't think they put that known that they were willing to let go of him because they would have had 32 teams call them asking what they wanted. Rightfully so. All 32 teams are calling. Why would they not? I mean, because of what Luka's done so far in his career, he's been a phenomenal player from year one. But if I'm Dallas, I don't know how you get this player. I'm finding a way to still keep make Anthony Davis in this trade, but we're talking about a mega deal. We're talking about one of the biggest deals ever done. I'm not only trying to get Anthony Davis, but I'm trying to get not a Kawhi, but as someone of that tenure, of that D3 wing guy, but a big name guy. I'm trying to think of someone that would work in the deal. That's what I'm trying
Brandon Ingram.
I mean, Brandon Ingram, yes, but I'm talking about even someone better than Brandon Ingram.
The only thing that I think this trade lacks, and like I said, player for player, Luka is, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 10. Anthony Davis is probably at a 7.5, 8 right now in his career.
Yeah.
Because of the injury. I think Dallas should have got more first-round picks. I look at the Paul George, Oklahoma City trade. The Clippers gave up a crap ton, and you will never convince me that Paul George is better than Luka. Defensively, yeah.
No.
Offensively, not even close.
No.
And Paul George is a bucket. Paul George is a great player.
If we're talking about the Paul George with Indiana, he was insane. Paul George now is still good. He's a great player still. He can help a team win a championship, but he's not what Luka is now. Like Luka is a game changer for any organization. He was a game changer for Dallas. Dallas was going nowhere when they got Luka. That's why they had to go find somebody. They were going nowhere.
As far as the Jazz on this, I don't even know. For one, I have no idea who that dude is. I don't even know.
Jalen Hood-Schifino, yeah, he's been on the Lakers. I think the Lakers drafted him a couple of years ago. I mean, he's a young guy. He's early 20s. I think. Well, you've seen LeBron and James.
Hey, Kent, I don't know who you are, buddy, but I like you. I like you, buddy. Thank you for stopping. Thank you for stopping in. It's the first time coming on here. I like it.
Hey, he even said this. Cuban sucks even on Shark Tank. I love it.
I like it.
Man, I mean, like I said, I don't think Dallas is done. I want to say the Lakers aren't done, but I don't know what more they can do with what they all the things they just spent. I don't know what more they can do. Hey, by the way, you remember the other day we were talking about like brothers playing with each other in the NBA? Mm-hmm. It was the Morris twins. That's who I was thinking of, Markieff. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, okay. They played together. That's who I was thinking of. That's the ones I kept saying there on the tip of my tongue. That when I saw this today, that's what reminded me of that. But let's talk about San Antonio. They just made this trade. I had a feeling it was going to happen. There's no more details yet, but the Kings are trading Fox to San Antonio and Zach LaVine is going to Sacramento. For Zach LaVine, it's not the worst move. The Bulls were never going to go anywhere. Where they are now. I knew Zach LaVine was going to move. Sacramento is always sticking around that 500 anyway. I'm not sure if he got the better end of the deal, but Fox going to San Antonio. Again, I don't know what else San Antonio is losing in this.
Here it is right here.
Oh, you got the full details?
Yeah. Okay. So Zach LaVine goes to the Kings. Sacramento also receives 3 first-round picks. This year's Hornets pick, 2027 Spurs, 2031 Timberwolves, 3 second-round picks, 2025 Bulls, 2028 Nuggets, and 2028 their own. They get it back. And Spurs guard Sid Cisco. Chicago gets back its 2025 pick from Spurs. It also gets Zach Collins, Trey Jones, and Kings Kevin Huerter. In addition to Fox, San Antonio receives guard Jordan McClellan. I don't know. That's the trade. So that right there.
Wow.
That right there was what I kind of would think a Luka trade would look like. 3 first and 3 seconds plus a big name player.
Hold on. All they gave up was Trey Jones from San Antonio. That's all the player-wise that left. Oh, and Cisco and Zach Collins and Cisco. Cisco's fine. He barely plays anyways.
Yeah,
Zach
so CP3 is still there.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Listen, I know San Antonio makes the playoffs this year. I'm telling you. They didn't have
100%.
They didn't have to give up Vassell. They didn't have to give up CP3. They didn't have to give up Castle. No, none of the big players. And you had De'Aaron Fox.
So I'm going to tell you who got screwed in this deal. I know somebody said over here, where's it at? Brandon.
It was the Bulls.
He said the Bulls got screwed. The person that got screwed in this deal is Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is a runner. He likes to get the ball. He likes to push the ball. He likes to get up and down the court. He just went with 38-year-old DeMar DeRozan.
Hey,
32-year-old Sabonis. He's going to go to a half-court set now. He got screwed. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. And speaking of the Kings, let me tell you who I would love for Dallas to go get. Keegan Murray from the Kings. He would be amazing. He would be amazing in Dallas. Put him at a 3, or if you go small, put him at the 4. Put P.J. Washington at the 3. Put Anthony Davis at the 5. If you wanted, that would be a great pickup. My goodness, I would love that.
I just want to say this. So Sidney Cisco is averaging 1 point for San Antonio. Fine, get him out of here.
He's averaging more than Bronny.
Trey Jones, 4.4 points. Get him out of here. That's fine. I love Trey Jones. Don't get me wrong. He was drafted by San Antonio. But you had to give up. A point guard had to leave in this because you can't. They would be overly staffed at the point guard position. And then Zach Collins, I'm glad he's out. It was time. He was barely playing. He's averaging 4.6 points. San Antonio gave up nobody big. They lost some draft picks. I'm good with that because of what they're going to be now. They lost none of their stars.
Breaking news. Dallas has traded Derek Lively.
Are you dead serious?
2027 second-round pick to San Antonio for Victor Wembanyama.
Oh my God! Get out of here! Get out of here! Oh, I thought you were serious for a second, man. I would probably end this stream right now if that happened. I'm probably breaking both monitors, my TV, and I'm never watching Spurs play ever again. Derek, you almost made me have a legit heart attack right there when you said that. But yeah, I think this is a great trade for San Antonio. They won the trade. They give it the picks. That's fine, but you get De'Aaron Fox. And
you get Chris Paul. I think that's the biggest thing in the whole draft. The whole trade is now De'Aaron Fox gets to learn from CP3.
And CP3
go ahead.
And CP3 being the backup, I know he may not want that role, but he's going to take that role and run with it because of the team they have now.
Yeah. I agree.
It's gonna be great because the second team that they've been playing with, they've actually transitioned to a lot. They have Shohan coming off the bench. They have Keldon Johnson coming off the bench. And they have CP3. The thing that I don't the thing in San Antonio still that they're missing currently right now is they still need another big man. Like because Victor Wembanyama is the big man, but they don't really like I'm going again. I'm looking at the roster.
Mo Bamba's out there.
No, they have let's see, they have this Sandro Maduscliff guy, but he just doesn't play, right? He's not like a big part of what they have. Like they don't really have a big man. So I would not be surprised within the before this trade deadline if they find somebody to go get like maybe Mubamba. I don't know who's left. What I don't know what they're willing to give up for somebody. A big man,
and that's what's going to help them is they kept all their players, so now they have pieces to go out and get somebody else. They do have, they have pieces to go call New Orleans for Brandon Ingram.
But see, I think they're good with having Harrison Barnes this year. People forget Harrison Barnes on San Antonio. I mean, he's not Harrison Barnes from Golden State. He's not. He's the Harrison Barnes from Sacramento. Funny is Harrison Barnes and De'Aaron Fox are reuniting. So they already kind of have that team chemistry in a way because they played. That was just last year they played together. They played for quite a few years together. I love this trade. I'm happy about it.
One thing we don't talk about it hardly at all. We're really just now getting into the basketball stuff. Last probably 2-3 episodes maybe. But something we don't talk about enough in basketball, not just us, but in general, like we do in football. In football, we say, so-and-so, let's say Bryce Young, they need to go get a veteran to help teach him and that he can learn. We don't talk about that in basketball enough.
No.
And I think
you need that veterans.
And I think that's just perfect for the Spurs. I think the Spurs with De'Aaron Fox learning from Chris Paul, I think that's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be really elevated. And Paul coming with that second team, just like you said, Paul is going to sit on that bench right next to Greg Popovich. He's going to listen to him. He's going to see what Popovich sees. He's going to be the coach on the court.
Yep.
And I think that's amazing. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, great job, Spurs, for getting that done. I mean, I had a feeling. I was really, really feeling it was going to get done. The last couple of days I've been hearing about it. I was really waiting for it to pop off today, and I mean, it did tonight, so I'm glad it happened. Kudos for San Antonio to not getting rid of the key pieces we have now, because Stephon Castle, rookie, listen, he is he's going to be the guy. Like, he's going to be it. Keldon Johnson, I thought he would be in the deal just because he's great, but I don't know, just had a feeling that they would not. And again, San Antonio gave up nothing besides some picks in this trade to get Fox. Kudos to them. I love it. I'm glad this trade happened. I'm excited to see. I'm curious if he'll play tomorrow. I doubt it, but probably the next game. I'm curious to see what all these teams do. Listen, NBA trade deadline has been very blah last couple of years.
Oh, but when it's good, it is good.
That's the thing, is when it is good, it's good. Started off with the little PJ Tucker one, okay, whatever. Then you hit him with the Luka and AD.
Yeah.
Now we hit him with the Zach LaVine.
It's going to be a good week.
Yes, these next 4 days, every time I hear my ESPN go off, I'm doing this with my phone, because it's either going to be a score or a trade or something happen. So excited to see where, it's going to be a good season. We already had some crazy changes, just 3 major changes so far, but I definitely see the Brandon Ingrams moving. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Miles Turner. I mean, Indiana's not going nowhere. They're going to be a 500 team, maybe make the playoffs, play in. That's about as far as they go. Miles Turner's too good to be on that team. So is Tyrese Halliburton. They're great players. I mean, I expect to see some major moves coming in the next couple of days. Hell, we might wake up tomorrow and see another big move. All to see doing one during a game. It's funny because I kept, usually when a player is really being talked about being traded, you don't see him play. And you're like questioning why that person's not playing. You've heard of an injury.
Yeah.
Like you saw I haven't seen anyone from San Antonio. Like, I've been hearing who might be in the trade. I saw everyone play last night, and I was like, interesting. Okay, then that made me think about the trade. I'm like, man, maybe this trade isn't going to happen. And then now that happens, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how your Mavericks do, man. I mean, I know. I was saying some stuff today, and I'm not knocking what they're doing, but I see why they're doing it. They're in a win mode now, and when you're in a win mode now, you'll do everything you can to get to win now.
Yeah.
They didn't see it there with Luka for whatever reason. Maybe there's stuff behind the scenes we don't know about, and hopefully
there has to be.
And same things with AD. I mean, there had to be something going on with AD they weren't liking. You don't just give up AD and Luka for no reason. Like, there's something behind both of them, and the trade was just perfect for the two for whatever reason. So we'll see what happens with it. I mean, I'm excited to see all these teams play, and so I'm excited, man. Got the next couple of days are gonna be really interesting. I would not be surprised though if Brandon Ingram and or Miles Turner ends up in Dallas. And they find a way to get healthy, that team will be – I think they have a chance to go back. I'll say that. Because I did say this about Dallas. I'm going to be honest. I can't be biased. I did say this about Dallas and Luka. I saw them – when I see them play without Luka, I do see them playing better. Like, I've actually seen it.
It's faster.
It's faster, and because, like, Luka is a very big ISO guy. He's a pick and roll guy, but he's a lot of ISO. And rightfully so, he's great as an isolation player. Like, you can't knock it. But there's times where he's playing ISO, he takes a shot, but there's a guy in the corner wide open. But it's because it's Luka. He is that good. I think that they saw when him not on the court what they can do, and they're taking a swing at it, getting an AD. Now who are they going to go get within the next 4 days to improve them offensively and defensively? And Brandon Ingram is that guy. If you get him, you're going to lose PJ Washington. It's going to happen. PJ Washington will be in that trade. They're going to lose him, which is fine. You're getting a young Brandon Ingram. Like, that's good. We'll see what happens, though, man. I'm excited. I feel like I want to be one of those analysts that's like always waiting for that trade. I want to be waiting for it now. That's the feeling I have. So, we'll see what happens, though. Let me run another ad real quick. We're going to talk about some college games that happened over the weekend. Or no, actually, we'll talk about some WNBA. There's some stuff you wanted to talk about right off the WNBA side of things, right?
Yes.
Let's run a quick ad and then we'll talk about the WNBA stuff.
So real quick, right before we go to anything else.
Tell me no breaking news, right?
No breaking news.
Okay.
Boston came back and won by 8. They outscored Philly 38-16 in the fourth quarter.
Wow. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Philly led the entire game. They outscored them 29-21 in the first, 32-23 in the second. Then they got outscored 36-33 in the third. They're still winning. Then they got outscored 38-16 and lost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I say one more thing about Dallas real quick? And I know I was, if I'm Dallas, we've got to find a way to get Clay more consistent.
Yeah.
Maybe with Luka being gone now, there's opportunities. Because when I say he's washed, I know I've said that twice today. It's because of games like today. I know it happens. I get it. But they're going to need more production from him to be able to make this work because they're going to need more scoring now. We've got to be honest about the scoring part.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis is going to take some of that load. I get that. I mean, right? He's going to. He's easily a 25 and 15 guy every night. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But for him to work out with this team, they're going to need a little bit more from him.
I think what hurt Clay, and I completely saw where you were coming from because as a fan, you see it. Clay being the 3 and Luka and Kyrie being so ball dominant, you don't get as many looks as you did in Golden State. So, like what do you have, 10 shots today? In Golden State, he has 10 shots at halftime some games. He has 10 shots in a quarter at Golden State because they're so focused on Curry, the drive and kick is there. Now that he's moving back to the 2, like I said, if you can spread that out, get Kyrie driving, kicking out, I think Clay goes from 10 to 12 shots a game. He's going to be up in the 17 range now, I think. And I think he's going to grow.
And he only played 18 minutes today. I think that was just because, I mean, they knew they weren't going to be.
It was over. Yeah, it was over.
Yeah, I mean, it was a terrible score, but I mean,
I will say this though, they outscored them in the second half, 60-50. They still lost by 40, but they outscored them 60-50.
Well, it was 50-19 at the end of the first. I mean, that's a that you could.
But
that's a
they did play the Cleveland, and we can argue they're the best team in basketball. I mean,
well, there's nothing to argue about. They're 49, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they played the best team in basketball. I mean, they didn't have Kyrie. I mean, like I said, Dallas's main focus now is just getting healthy. Once they get healthy, we'll see where their true
where their bar is.
Feeling is. Yes. All right, let's talk about WNBA. You kind of started off. I need to pull some stuff up here, so go ahead and kick it off with some stuff.
The best. I'm fixing to give you the best sports news of the entire year. I'm talking about 2024 to now. Did you see the Tennessee bid?
Tennessee bid?
Yes.
I did not.
A group of Tennessee celebrities, Candace Parker, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw, and Peyton Manning are pushing for a Tennessee WNBA team. For an expansion team. Do you know what the name of the team is going to be?
Tennessee. I don't know. What would they name that?
The Tennessee Summit. For Pat Summit, who used to be the Tennessee Vols coach.
Wow.
I think that is absolutely awesome. I think that is I think that is the best name for a team from Tennessee that has to do with women's basketball.
Wow.
She was unbelievable at Tennessee. I mean, she was an absolute legend in her own mind.
The only reason she retires all the health issues she was having.
Health issues. That's
only reason she retires. Yeah.
But the other thing that I wanted to talk about, probably my two new favorite teams in the WNBA. Let's just be honest. Is the Indiana Fever,
yes.
and then the Dallas Wings because they're in Dallas. So the Fever got Sophie Cunningham and the 19th pick in the draft this year from Phoenix for Nalisa Smith, and the Fever number 8 pick went to Dallas. Okay, so Dallas now has 1-8 in a loaded front draft. There's probably, I'm going to say 12 to 15 players that are really good in this draft. Dallas has a chance to draft Paige at 1 and Asia Fudge at 8. Their teammates at UConn, both backcourt. That would put Dallas in a position of a top 3 to 4 backcourt in the WNBA, both as rookies right out of the gate. The rebuild is on in Dallas, okay? So, I mean, that is amazing foundation. For the Fever, we talked about it off stream. The Fever have made phenomenal strides this season so far, this offseason. You acquire the 19th pick from last year's draft in Cunningham, and you get a draft pick. The Fever are going to – I would not be surprised if they didn't win it all this year, especially with what's going on in Vegas, the breakup with Plum. I know LA, the Sparks will be good because Plum's going to go there. They're going to get Cameron Brink back. And she was playing phenomenal. I'm not 100% sure she wouldn't have won Rookie of the Year over Clark because that's how good she was playing at the beginning before she got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But she went down, and Clark eventually won it. But I've said this before on here. Me and my boss talk about this all the time. Like 3 years ago, I'm not checking my phone to see what women's college basketball game is on or what WNBA game is coming on, to make sure I have it on TV. Now I am. Now I'm wanting to watch that kind of stuff. And so I think that's pretty cool. And now that we're talking about it, and it fits for what we're trying to do here. Like we want to go year-round with the sport. The WNBA fits that gap in between the NBA, in between the NFL, goes right in there with baseball. So I think it's awesome that it's actually.
Yeah, and also to kind of piggyback off of that, Dewana Bonner, a 15-year veteran with the Connecticut Sun, she signed with the Indiana Fever. So not only are they young,
that's who it was.
They added some veteran. And I'm gonna another person that signed, which is great for this team, re-signed the Sparks, re-signed Odyssey Sims. Huge for them. That's huge. Odyssey Sims is phenomenal. They kind of keep, they just had Kelsey Plum coming in, and
Kelsey Mitchell re-signed with the Fever. That was huge. Yes. A lot of people thought she would leave.
Yes, and she did not. I want to tell you another interesting stat from the 2024 Connecticut Sun playoff team. All 5 starters have left. All 5. So I would say right now the Connecticut Sun are in a rebuild mode. You don't let your I don't think you let your 5 starters just go if you're not in a rebuild mode.
The 2026 number 1 pick, Connecticut Sun.
Yes, I would mark that down. February 2nd, 2025. February 2nd, 2026, we will see the Connecticut Suns of next year getting the first round pick. They're gonna turn into the they've got to be in rebuild mode, no doubt. But yeah, I mean WNBA is really kicking off. I mean there's been a lot of things going on WNBA, NBA is kicking off, so it's really exciting. Again, we wouldn't, just a year. I mean, even a year ago, we weren't talking about the WNBA trades. We were talking about Caitlin Clark, that draft. Now you're talking about it. Oh, you're talking about who's getting traded. The league is getting bigger. It's getting more interesting. Like you said, you're looking out to watch those games. Like you said last year, when I saw the Fever play, I was always checking, hey, how's Caitlin Clark doing?
Yeah.
Before I used to keep up with the Las Vegas Aces, aka the old San Antonio team. I was keeping up with them because, I like San Antonio and I like their team. But now you're just talking about the WNBA in general. You're talking about college.
I know more WNBA and college players' names now
than you ever have.
Than I ever have. I mean, I'm naming the sixth woman on the bench for certain teams just because. I mean, it's interesting now. I don't know if it's because of we have a daughter that's just going to be in high school and is likes basketball. So I'm trying to get more interested in it or what. But yeah, that's man. It's sport. It's sport.
Yeah. So that was just a full update on the San Antonio thing. So let's talk about some of the. So let's talk about some of these men's games from yesterday in college. They were great.
Amazing games yesterday.
Iowa State went down again. Again at Kansas State. Duke dominated North Carolina. I was disappointed in that game, man. I know Carolina's kind of having a bad year, but
Cooper Flag is
number one draft pick. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of the last really good freshman. Okay, the one and doneers. And I'm going to tell you probably Cooper Flag is as good or better than Anthony Davis was at Kentucky. Now, Anthony Davis had more blocks at Kentucky than 60 teams had. That's how good Anthony Davis was. I mean, he was unbelievable. But yeah, Cooper Flag is number one draft pick, and that's if he goes, he might come back because if I'm him, if Washington has the number one pick, I'm going back to Duke. I'm not going to the Wizards. I'm sorry, not doing it. I'm just not. Alabama looked good yesterday.
They looked really good yesterday.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say it's a 3-team race for the national championship.
Okay.
Auburn, Duke, and Alabama. I think they all have the size. They have the speed. They have the playmakers. Those 3 teams, I think, are head and shoulders above everybody.
Yeah, I agree. And I watched some of this game yesterday, the Florida and Tennessee. Tennessee dominated Florida in the second half. It ended up being a 20-point victory for Tennessee. I thought Florida had, they've been looking good, but they dropped the ball there. Houston loses to Texas Tech. USC beats Michigan State, number 7. UConn beat Marquette. Baylor beat Kansas. I mean, everybody went down. Arkansas beat Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Missouri beat Mississippi State. I mean, it was Georgia Tech beat a Louisville team. Oklahoma smashed Vanderbilt. I mean, there was a lot of upsets yesterday.
Michigan State lost.
Michigan State lost. The college scene is starting to kind of look – and right now Nebraska's beating Oregon.
I'll tell you somebody that – so I watched that Baylor game. I watched pretty much all these games yesterday. A&M beat South Carolina. A&M needed that win. But I'll tell you –
by the way, an interesting fact about South Carolina. They lost all their games in January. Just want to throw that all.
Yeah, they're 0-9 in the SEC.
Yeah, which was surprising because they started off hot. I get it; it was before conference play, but they looked good going into the conference play.
UConn is struggling, but they seem to keep. They seem to just kind of stay in the mix. They beat number 9 Marquette last night. They're 8-3 in the Big East. 16-6 overall. And they lost 3 straight games in I think November or December at that
tournament.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So to have them down at 20, they're the 2-time champs. Man, they could make a run in the Big East.
I was about to say, could they make a run? I mean, is it?
I hate to say make a run for the 2-time champ that brought back a bunch of people. I think they're going to make the tournament. Obviously, I mean they're good.
Oh yeah.
But, man, I'm going to tell you something. If I had to pick a sleeper for the tournament, it would be UConn. Like UConn could be. They could do like a. 2000, I think 2011 was when Cardiac Kemba Walker, they won they ran through the Big East tournament and they just went on a run in the NCAA tournament and won it all. I'll tell you something that I would love to do, and I don't know how we would kind of do this, but I would love to figure it out. I would love to do a tired sports tournament challenge. For all of our followers, let's just see kind of who knows ball, and do it on the ESPN app. Put it out there, and let's just have fun with it. I love it. I do it every year.
I do it too. I've been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely. But yeah, dude, college basketball ramping up. It's almost over with. I think maybe another.
We have another
3 weeks.
Yeah, about 3 weeks or so.
Let's see.
I mean, and when you flip it over to the women's side from today, because there wasn't very many games yesterday, I think because of all the boys' games. I mean, UConn wins by 50, dang near. But yeah. Illinois beat a 14 Maryland. Iowa beats USC. That was a shocker to me. Did not see that coming. I really want any other losses in the
March the 9th. Sunday, March the 9th. There is a couple games. Okay, March the 10th, there's no game. March the 11th starts
conference tournament.
Conference tournament. So we're literally 2 weeks
about
away.
A month. Yeah.
No, we're 2. No,
we're February, about a month away.
A month away. Yeah,
about 5 weeks or so away. Yeah. That's crazy that we're even talking about that because football just ties right in, and then we're getting into the best part of college basketball season.
And I've said it on here before. The NCAA tournament. If I had to go anywhere, that's where I would do.
Mm-hmm. I agree. The women's side is just as fun as the men's side. I agree. You've said this before. If there was one event that I could watch for the rest of my life, it would be March Madness. It takes away nothing from the professional side of things, but I want to say we used to say this back in the day that professional is about the money, college is about the play, the love. It's kind of shifted now because you get paid to play in college, but the college basketball season is kind of starting to turn out like the football. A lot of things are happening. A lot of teams are losing that shouldn't lose. There's some teams that are definitely dominating as they should, but the March Madness,
anybody can win in March Madness.
The March Madness is when anybody can win. The conference tournaments are competitive because it kind of helps you directs your seeding in a way. If you win, you have a good chance of getting a high seed.
That's North Carolina State last year. They weren't even in the tournament. Won the ACC tournament, went on a Final Four run. That's what I love. That's what I love about it. Like that, you could get hot and just roll.
Yep.
And they weren't a good team. That's what's bad. Like I think they were like 13 and 17, something like that, and then won the tournament. Beat number, I think 6 at the time, Duke. Beat number 1 overall North Carolina. And then beat Duke again in the Elite Eight.
I'm telling you, man, the college basketball is so fun.
It's where it's at.
You always watch those 1 and 16 seed teams because you know there's a number 1 seed team losing. Happens that 15, 16 seed. One of those teams is winning.
it's happened more. It was like 136-0 for 16
The longest
weeks
time.
one. Now, I think the last 2 years, our number one seed has went down in the first round.
It's so common now, dude. It's so common for it to happen. And it's
Yeah.
not because those top seeded teams aren't good, but those 15 and 16 teams are usually
They're
teams
all
we
good.
don't. They're all good, and it's teams you don't watch. So when they beat someone, you're like, "Who is this? How did they win?" Well, because they're playing. They don't play on ESPN. They might play on ESPN2, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're lucky, and you don't talk about them all year.
They play
Somebody's
like
talking about
10:30
them.
at night. Yeah.
Yeah. They play on the West Coast, so you don't hear about them. But yeah, it's fun, man. It's exciting. But we're definitely coming to the peak season of basketball, and all across the board. NBA, WNBA.
I'm ready for NBA. The back half of NBA. NBA playoff is going to be huge. A lot of good shows are going to be based around that. We still got a lot of interviews coming up that we still popped in. The swimming lady reached out to me today. The mother of the swimmer. She got back-to-back district championships this past weekend. I don't know what she swam in. So she'll be in the regionals this week, and then next week is state. And I told her just whenever she gets done to reach out to us. We would love to have her on.
Oh yeah, definitely. That will be a lot of
We've got the lacrosse girl coming on in a couple of weeks, which is going to be wild because I have no idea about lacrosse.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that because I don't know nothing either. To be honest with you,
we're gonna learn.
We learned a lot from something like, again, like even Jaycee and what she went through. It's kind of I want to say it's the second story we've had similar-ish type situation.
Yeah.
I didn't know the details. Her dad, he just told me about it, and then we were talking about that one morning, and I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds awesome, And then we had Seth McFarland, that linebacker from Pine Tree. He had actually got his pulled,
Mm-hmm.
And Bob, I need to reach back out to him. He was actually waiting until February to commit. So hopefully here soon we'll hear from him and see what he's
I don't know if he's still watching or not, but if he is, Mr. Kyle, thank you for hooking us up with Jaycee's family because he sent us that message.
Oh yeah,
he put us in that group. Like I looked down and it said Cal Sparks and Dustin, and then it had a couple of dots. I was like, I'm not in no group chat with Cal and Dustin, and I looked and that's what it was. So that was a huge shout out to Mr. Great people. The Sparks are great people, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna keep me updated on their. I think they have to win Tuesday to make the playoff. If they do, we're gonna go to a playoff game. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun to go watch a basketball playoff game. It's been a while. But that's exciting. And again, we appreciate Jaycee coming on, hanging out with us. We appreciate all of our, all of our sponsors, being a part of us still. I do want to make a special shout out to Brian Todd and RTX Graphics.
Mm-hmm.
They had their grand opening yesterday.
I've seen that.
Brian, sorry, man, I couldn't make it. I know I'm not far from there, but just a lot was going on, and I didn't. By the time I thought about it, I saw some pictures. Things were great there. They had a great turnout.
Yes, absolutely.
So kudos to them. I've been meaning to go down to the shop to meet him in person, and I actually wanted to talk to him about getting us some Tired Sports hat made for us. And my wife needed some embroidery done for my son, so I need to go down there and speak with him. But some exciting things going on. Really exciting. Today's Sunday. I had to think about what day it was.
Yeah.
Wednesday we have another guest on. I'm super excited about him. He played, or he currently is a senior at Plano over in the Dallas area. He's going to play wide receiver at Hendricks. So, kind of our second guy with Hendricks. We had the kid from Hooks. I can't think of his name.
He hasn't committed yet.
He still hasn't committed?
He got him another offer.
He sent it to us. He messaged us and told us about it.
From Kansas Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still at and I'm going to reach back out to him because he talked about coming on and doing like a commitment show. Which would be awesome. I told him it didn't matter if it was a Tuesday. Let us know. Like we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. And by the way, we want to throw this out there. This coming Saturday, the community. This Saturday, we're gonna do a. Is it this Saturday? Yeah, this Saturday. Because the Super Bowl. We're gonna do a. We're not gonna be on Sunday. Actually, we'll talk about that in a minute. But on Saturday, we're gonna do a Tired Sports Network Super Bowl show. We're gonna have hopefully the whole crew can be here. We're gonna do a show, just talk nothing but Super Bowl stuff, and I have some interesting stuff to show y'all. I've found some stuff. I've been seeing people post stuff, and I've been like getting it because like I want to talk about it. So we're gonna do that on Saturday. Saturday, what do we say? 7 o'clock. So we'll do that on Saturday. And then so we'll go ahead and say this. Sunday, we're not going to do a show because of the Super Bowl. It's going to be in the middle of it. I'm not going to lie. I want to watch Super Bowl. I'm sure Derek wants to watch it too. So we're not going to do one Sunday. We're not doing one the following Wednesday on the 12th. That's me. It is my birthday. Not that it's super special, but we always do a birthday dinner because me and my twins' birthday, and then my mom's 11th. So we're going to do something. So I don't want to, Derek, he wants to just hold off. I'm good with holding off. We had some guests on. We rescheduled them. So we're going to take a couple shows off for those special events.
Just that week,
yeah, just that week. Those two shows.
We're coming back with a bang. On the 16th. Just kind of, I know it's a long way away, but we have a 2-time All-American lacrosse player who is she's a senior in high school. And she's committed D1. She's going to come on and talk with us. They're from California. Her mom reached out, seen a post that we made, reached out to us. So we're getting people from California. We got a baseball recruit that following Wednesday that signed with a top 30 JUCO program in the nation from Alabama. So we're kind of all over the country, dude. This has been awesome. Like I cannot say this enough. Like where we're at from where we started is unbelievable. I personally want to thank the Philly guys, Sean and Scott. I want to thank Casey and his dad William for joining us for this ride. I think we put out amazing shows 4 days a week. We're still looking to grow, but we haven't found that next show yet. We haven't found that kind of fits with what we're trying to do. I'm still watching podcasts here and there, but most of my time has been dedicated to trying to find more people to come on and get that scheduled. But I still am watching the shows, but that they're just not. They don't kind of fit in with what we're trying to grow and do. But man, I'm so thrilled where we're at, and I'm excited to where we're going.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I mean, obviously, I want to thank Derek and formerly who used to be with us, Josh, for seeing something I could bring to what they were doing. If it wasn't for me knowing Derek and him and them and deciding to have me on that one time, turn into this, I couldn't be more excited about it because it was y'all, and you knew what I could bring to the table because you knew some of my stuff I've done in the past. And I'm enjoying it so much. And I thank y'all for that and what we've done and sort of, it seems like it's a short amount of time, but it's been, we're going on 4-ish months, maybe closer to the 5-month mark. It's been great. We're trying to do something different than what you see out there. I mean, there's people that do these things, but we're bringing in people, young adults, young adults, just now starting their lives, you can say, and kind of walking us through the journey they've had, and we love it. Appreciate all the parents for reaching out, ones that are allowing their kids to come on and hang out with us because they're a big part of it as well because they groom their kids, their young kids to be who they are today. So
that's primarily who I start talking to is because I don't want to come. I don't want to come off any way to a kid or the parents like what's going on. So I try to I'll make a post and somebody will tag the parent in it, and then I'll message the parent directly and kind of tell them what we're about. I'll send them our links. They'll come check us out, and they'll say yes or no, and then they get me in contact with their kid. Pretty much anything on Facebook wise, that's how it happens. Now Twitter is different because we can kind of direct message or comment on something other kids. So yeah, it's been awesome.
It has been.
So I on my end, I want to end with 2 things.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler has informed the Golden State Warriors that he is unwilling to sign an extension. So Golden State is out of the Jimmy Butler saga.
Wow.
I don't know what Jimmy does. Okay, I'm going to make a comparison, and you're going to be like, spot on. Jimmy Butler is Antonio Brown. I think they're related. I don't know how, but they're related.
Why don't Jimmy just come out and say where he wants to go to end this? That's all he's got to do.
Well, I don't think Pat will do it. That's what's bad. They're just finding him. They're finding him every day. I love Pat the way he's handling this. Like, you don't run this team. I run this team. I'm going to find you every day. They're still winning games without him.
I mean, they beat San Antonio last night. I mean,
all they're fixing to do is get a haul of either picks or players and build on what they already have. Because they don't have a bad team. They're not great.
No, they just don't have that. They just don't have that so-called star, if you want to say that. Like, I'm not saying they have Tyler Hill, great player, Bam Adebayo, great player. They just don't have that star. But I think that Pat Riley is going to go get. Whatever they decide to do with this trade, they're going to get a star. They're not going to let Jimmy walk for free. They're
going to get a heat. They're going to get a heat culture. Well, that's what they're going to get.
That's the way I should have put it. You're spot on. They're going to get a heat culture player.
And I love the Spurs and the Heat draft guys to fit the organization or trade for guys to fit the organization. They don't just go out and get the big name players. They get the grit and grind. They get what fits what they're doing. I've always loved that about both franchises.
Yeah, I have too. I mean, that's why I'm such a big fan of San Antonio. Is not just because of the amazing players that came through, but they always you know who they remind me of. They remind me of Bill Belichick. They go find those
under the radar. Absolutely,
he found Tim Duncan at Wake Forest from the Virgin Islands that nobody knew about. They went and found Manu Ginobili overseas. They went and found Tony Parker. They find the people that people don't look for. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And but yeah. So yeah, it's great stuff. Well, since you kind of said that, now that just a quick where does he go then? If Golden State's out, where can he really go now? If you were Pat Riley, you're like, I'm trading him to this team, and I'm trading him, and I'm gonna get something back for him. Where does he go now? Because I mean, it could be any. I mean, well, now it's not Golden State. He's already
Brooklyn could give you a good package, centered around Cam Johnson. And not a star. He's not a star, but I mean, he could be a heat culture player. He could be a heat culture player. You could get a crap ton of picks. I'm not going to say Charlotte, but Charlotte's not bad. I think he destroys the franchise because he's just that bad. I'll tell you where. No, that would break it up. That would break them up. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't mind doing a Brandon Ingram, Jimmy Butler swap if they would do that.
I feel like
Jimmy would hate it. Jimmy would hate it, but I wouldn't care.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Pat Riley's going to care about what he thinks now at this point.
Atlanta, maybe. Maybe would you pair him with Trae Young?
I mean, they need someone like that.
I think that would be yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad. I know. I don't know how Brandon would feel about that, but I mean, they would take them to another level for sure.
Yeah, that's probably what I do.
Okay.
And then my second thing I kind of wanted to talk about is can we all agree and when I say all, I'm talking about every single sports fan in America. Can we get rid of the Pro Bowl?
Please.
And I'm going to bring a solution to it. Okay, I'm going to bring a solution. Who has the number 1 pick? Tennessee.
Yes.
Who has number 2 pick?
Browns.
Let them play. Let them play.
Let them play it out for the first pick.
Winner gets the first pick.
I would love that more.
Have a meaningful game the week before the Super Bowl, because the freaking 76-63. I mean, flag football. At a. I mean, dude, do you remember when Sean Taylor destroyed that punter in the Pro Bowl? That's what I meant. Like, if we're gonna play it, let's knock freaking people's heads off.
I have a meaning behind it.
Exactly. Like, let's. Man, I don't know. Like, and the NBA All-Star crap. Let's get rid of it too. Let's get rid of it. Let's do. You want them to play hard. NBA All-Star. I hate that it's fan voted. Like, I wish there was another way to get the All-Stars in there, because some of them people make it that don't deserve it over people that do deserve it. Let's go back to East versus West. Okay? Let's go back to wearing your team's jersey. Like, get away from the All-Star jerseys. Like, let's wear – I'm a Laker, I'm wearing a Laker jersey. You're a Spur, wear a Spurs jersey. Like that, and we're going to wear our home jersey. So we're dark jersey because we're home. The winner of the All-Star game gets home court advantage in the NBA Finals. Let's make it mean something.
I actually like that idea. That's a great idea.
I love that idea.
Yeah, they got to get meanings behind these games, just because right now there's no meanings behind them. It's just a void to fill at that time during the season is what it's come down to. I mean, like I said this other night when I was on the Sports Nut show, that, like, to me, the most exciting thing about the NBA All-Star Weekend is a dunk contest, and now that's becoming the G League dunk contest. It's not even the NBA dunk contest. It's the G League dunk. I mean,
the college dunk contest is better than the NBA dunk contest.
Did you see?
Do you know what makes it good? It's like the D2 kids, or like the like Florida Gulf Coast players. It's not even like a big name.
Did you see the dunk contest with the Nebraska football team the other night at the halftime of the game?
Yeah.
I like that. I liked what they were doing more. I mean, that was pretty cool. I mean, it was a football team out there with Nebraska uniforms on dunking. I was going to see if Raiola was in there, but he wasn't dunking. So, oh yeah, they just said Warriors in talks for Jimmy Butler after he tells them he's unwilling to sign an extension.
I literally just saw. I think he has. I think he has a team that he wants to go to in his head.
I don't think he's going to express it, because he knows he won't go there if he says.
Not only that, he's not going to help Pat Riley. He's going to make Pat be on that phone. Hey, Charlotte, what if I gave you this for Pat Riley? I mean, for Jimmy. He's going to say, I'm not going to resign there. Okay, let me call this other team. He's going to make him call all 32 teams. He's going to turn down all 31 teams that he doesn't want to go to. I'll tell you where I think Jimmy Butler should go. And I'm not sure it doesn't put them over the top. I would love to see Jimmy Butler in Milwaukee. With Giannis and Dame. That's a solid big three. Depending on what they give up. I think Chris Middleton will have to be in the package.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But I think offensively you stay the same. I think you get a little better defensively.
Oh, you get a lot better defensively. Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, it would all depend on what you give up, or how many teams are involved, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that.
That would possibly be my favorite to come out the East. I'm serious. That would be right there.
Cleveland is still heading.
I was about to say it would make it to where it was a 3-team race with Cleveland, New York, Boston. Well, 4-team: Cleveland, New York, Boston, Milwaukee.
I would love to see Cleveland. Give me your perfect final right now. If you were the NBA writers, who is your perfect NBA final? To me, there's only 2 teams. One West and one East.
Well, I think right now, obviously, it's going to be right now. It'd be Cleveland and Cleveland and Oklahoma City.
That's exactly who I was thinking. I would watch the mess out of that game.
That would be a 7-game series. I don't see it not being a 7. I mean, again, I think, again, this is kind of going back to the whole Brandon Ingram thing. If Brandon Ingram found his way on Memphis, I wouldn't mind putting Memphis up there.
Yeah, that would be a solid. But again, all these things.
Who is Memphis going to give up? Like, are they going to give up? I mean, they're not going to give. I could say who they're not going to give up. They're not going to give up Zach Edey. They're not going to give up John Moran, of course, and they're probably not going to give up Jaren Jackson. But I would probably see Jaren Jackson in that trade. They're not going to keep.
I think Jaren Jackson would be the focal point of that. I could see a Jaren Jackson, Marcus Smart, and some picks maybe, especially with the way that Zach Edey is playing right now. Zach Edey is unbelievable.
I just said this other night on the Sports Nuts that we were talking about who is that player now that is somewhat an old school big man, and Zach Edey is the closest to what we have now in the NBA. Yeah, an actual true big man. I'm not talking about a stretch. I'm talking about a true big man. He shoots threes.
He's on the block.
He might shoot 1 3 a game, maybe, and that's just because but that's the problem with the NBA is if you're a big man, you're a true big man, you've got to shoot. Because if you don't shoot, you're not what we are now. So I think he's had to learn. I mean, he shot threes in college, don't get me wrong, but he is the closest to a true big man we have that plays the game, and he is a phenomenal rookie. Or is he a rookie? Is he a yeah, he's a rookie.
Yeah,
he played at Purdue. Yeah, he's a rookie. He went to the right team.
Yeah,
they weren't a bad team. They're a good West team, and he's like he kind of brings back it's like we have Marc Gasol again. I'm not saying he's that level. I'm not, who I compared him to the other night? I want to see if you thought this was a good comparison. When I think of Zach Edey, I think of Brook Lopez from the Nets. From the Nets, not current Brook Lopez, but from the Nets when he was an on the block only player. That's who I saw in him. That's who I kind of seen him a little bit. Is a Brook Lopez Nets days.
I like that.
Could be. I mean, I don't think he has a better shot than Brook Lopez, but I'm saying I could see the potential because you could think as a rookie, he's a phenomenal.
I'll tell you even better one. Marc Gasol from Memphis.
It's not about. Marc Gasol. I mean, he started shooting threes because the league was going that way. He wasn't
because the league, but at Memphis, that back in the grit and grind days, he was a block. He was on one side and Z-Bo was at the other.
Yep. Great play, man. Great players. Well, man, we're wrapping up about 2 hours here.
Yep.
It's a great show. Again, appreciate everyone. Hold on. Real quick. Please, guys, again, I try to put this on every show. Scan our QR code here. Please follow us on all socials. We're on 7 different platforms now. Scan this and we'll take you to all the links. You just click on the links and bam, press the follow button and you can follow us, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that. We're trying to grow our TikTok. We're trying to grow all these. I mean, the goal is to get everybody knowing who we are. So please follow these and we will see y'all on Wednesday and we will continue. Wednesday is the 5th. So I would expect to have some more NBA trades by then. I would expect that's the day before midnight, which actually it would be 11 o'clock here, would be the ending of the trade deadline. So I expect to see some moves before then. Maybe a last-minute big move for one of these teams that's looking for that last piece to get them over the top. So, continue to follow us and we'll continue to keep up with all this, and we'll see y'all on Wednesday.
All right, man. Later, buddy.
Later, man.